Now, you know, I think we all have those nights when you come home a little bit later than expected, absolutely quiche, and you don't feel like spending hours or even minutes in the kitchen. Well, courtesy of Fatties and Monies, was a Pasta Wednesday. This next dish is your new weeknight savior. It's super quick, really easy to make, and it's going to taste like you ordered it in, baby. And we are making a creamy tuna and mushroom pasta, so it's jam-packed with the right kind of nutrients. And of course, courtesy of our Fatties and Monies pasta, we're using the high-fiber macaroni. That is going to really make you ensure that you are fuller for longer. And the macaroni is awesome because it's not just the outside, it's the inside.
I'm loving the fact that you introed it like that. You were like, what?
But it's
here. Then I felt like I was
on, girl.
Somebody
it's
now.
a Wars of Pasta Wednesday. You've got to embrace it, especially when it's making life a little bit easier. You know, dinner, you want to be nutritious, but I'm exhausted. I've got 2 kids, you've got a child.
And you forgot to defrost the meat. It's in the freezer, and you're like, Ibo, now I have to do the microwave defrosting, or I have to put the thing in the water.
No,
Too much
not on a Wars of Pasta Wednesday. We want to call that Wednesday as quickly as we can. I like the balance here. We've got all the right kind of colors, and just because it's quick and easy doesn't mean there's no flavor. No. We are supercharging this one.
Quick and easy, delicious, and also convenience, which is what, this is the flag we're flying all of this year.
No, completely, man.
I feel like you want to spend more time doing important things, and even though getting full is one of the important things, you don't want to slave away, and you don't want to basically end up eating the whole meal while you're preparing.
Yeah, I mean, but just add it up. So if you're going to spend an hour cooking every night for the week, that's almost a day you lose by the end of 2 weeks. You've lost a full day.
A whole day.
Which is crazy, so we don't want that.
Let's avoid
excuse my maths if I was kind of way off there. Okay, so we've got our garlic, our onions going in there.
Yeah, I've also added just some salt and pepper as well. I'm adding our red peppers to this. And you know what, the other great thing about this as well? We buy a lot of veggies for ourselves. We want to cook, you want to make sure you get that nutrition in it. If you see that your veggies are now slowly getting older, this is a great way to incorporate them.
And how often is there that one left out?
Hey!
And it's often the red one for some reason. So you'll use the green, you'll use the yellow when they come in a pack of 3, and then the red one just sits there and starts to wrinkle in the corner. Don't let him go. And the same applies to your herbs. The same applies to all of the onions. Make sure that you're utilizing all of your fresh ingredients. And I think you've hit the nail on the head here, because we do want to introduce fresh, but you don't want to waste it.
Exactly. And another thing we're doing here is we're layering it up with the flavor. So I've added some oil, which has a high smoking point that helps us get these ingredients cooked off. But then we add the butter there for the additional creaminess and that. There's something that butter does to
luxury. It's luxury. It's mouthfeel. It's luxurious.
Or like my people like to say, it's luxurious.
Luxurious.
Yes.
Baby, I love it. And of course, the oil and the butter then become that vehicle for the flavor. And that flavor is going to enrobe, and it's going to go inside these beautiful macaronis. I love the fact that here we are dealing with a pasta that is going to keep you fuller for longer. And if you want to ensure that you're getting the most out of every dish, use a very good quality pasta. And this type of pasta is perfect for saucy recipes because it will hold the sauce, and it is a great source of fiber, lower sodium as well, and I've become hyper aware of that with my kids.
Yeah.
Even if you don't introduce salt, if you just look at the salt amount in every ingredient that you're putting in, you probably extend them beyond their daily intake. So just be aware of that. And then you've got the beautiful flavors singing through.
Exactly. And you're talking about the salt content. We're adding some tuna in there that already has those.
Would have been brined, yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
So you don't even have to worry about additional salt. I always also say to people, whenever you're cooking dishes like this, rather season at the very end, because then you let the flavors mellow out and
taste and
come together.
Taste and season.
Correct.
Okay.
Now we've added basically everything else here. I've added the cream, I've added the veggies, I've also added the tuna, and then into this I'm just going in with our high fiber macaroni, and this for me is basically the pièce résistance, because like you said, it keeps you fuller for longer.
Beautiful. I'm guessing I have a job to do here.
You do. You do.
I mean, these are cute little button vibes.
Some people can add them. You can add them like this if you want to, but you can literally just halve them. Because another thing we're doing here is we want texture, but we also want to be able to have that bite in whatever you're eating. And mushrooms have that umami about them.
I mean, you can eat mushrooms raw. Just bear that in mind, okay? So you don't have to cook them through. It's depending on what kind of texture you like. And also cooking time. So if you're going to have huge, big, chunky mushrooms, just bear in mind that they're going to take longer to cook. So if you want to chop them up, I'm going to do that. You want to add some into the mix?
I can. And another thing you mentioned about these is that we're keeping them nice and chunky because, like we said, we don't have any actual red meat in here. We've got the tuna in there. So as these flavors release, because you know mushrooms absorb moisture, they absorb a lot. They're sponges. So the reason I've also decided to add them now is so that when that cream reduces, those flavors basically reduce down, the mushroom absorbs all of it. So that's additional flavor.
Another flavor layer. I absolutely love that. With the tuna, because Again, you don't necessarily need to cook the tuna. It's been preserved in its brine.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing you don't have to cook it for very long. Once you've brought all the flavors together, once you're happy that you've kind of got those layers.
Correct.
Done.
Yeah, so the whole idea is you can reduce the cream a little bit thicker so that it's slightly reduced, and that gives it another luxurious level to it. But it really is up to you. If you've got time on your hands, let it cook. It won't even take you 30 minutes to finish the meal and sit down.
And if a splash of white wine happens to just fall in there by mistake as you chip to the table and you're sipping, I mean, it could happen, it could happen. You could take this anywhere. I love the fact that with a Pasta Wednesday, we could do anything. We can take it in any direction. But it has to be delicious and it has to be quick and easy. And we've ticked all of those boxes. Chumi, awesome girl, well done. And if you want to get your hands on this yummy tuna and mushroom pasta that is jam-packed with all the flavour, just go to expressoshow.com, and that's where we house all of our recipes. And then, of course, don't forget that you guys also stand the chance to win big with Fatties and Moni's Was a Pasta Wednesdays, where you stand a chance of winning a cool 2,000 Rand every single day, and then 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. And if you want all of those details, just get onto the Fatties and Moni's social media pages, ask them questions, and you'll find a whole lot more culinary inspiration there as well. Chumi, you've outdone yourself.
Let's
beautiful.
go eat.
I think so. We've earned the right. I'm going to chop some more mushrooms.
FATTIS&MONIS Was a Pasta Wednesdays. Bravo to you. Stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand every day, plus 10,000 Rand every Pasta Wednesday. See in store for details. T's and C's apply.